Hello, hello, and thank you for joining me. It's July 12th, and I just want to give an update with the garden so far. So I'll get some close-up shots on how everything's been going. The basil, I actually got to use it for a homemade pizza. Let some of the flowers come in, so I plucked them off. And the broccoli right here, only one of them is actually probably going to give broccoli. Green beans, they're getting to a point where they're not really producing too many flowers anymore, so I'm just gonna let the pods mature, and that'll probably kill off the plants, and then in about another 4 weeks I'll plant some more seeds to have some for the fall. The squash at the end, that's actually doing really well. Out of nowhere this past 2-3 weeks it just really started expanding and growing like crazy. I took out all the strawberries behind me. Now it just has asparagus. And I'll probably plant something later this year. Maybe strawberries again, maybe something else. And tomatoes, they're actually doing pretty well. And probably will be able to pluck some tomatoes in about 2 weeks. So I'll just give a close up on everything that's happening. And here's the basil. So this is just a close up just to give an example. So right here, these are some flowers that are coming in. So I try to pluck them to make sure that the basil isn't spending any energy actually growing the flowers or seeds or anything else for as long as I can this season. Just so we can keep on plucking any of the leaves to use when we're cooking. And here are the green beans. So this side definitely has some flowers that are coming in, but overall these green bean plants have definitely slowed down on how many flowers they're actually producing. And right now I'm just gonna let the seed pods mature. You're gonna notice more bumps and grooves in it. It's gonna start drying out, and then you should be able to have a little bit of rattling inside, and that's at the point that you can actually save some of these green beans. Last year I kind of just dried them out on a paper towel when they were still kind of like this, and a lot of mold actually grew on them. So I'm going to make sure that I wait until they're completely dried out inside and you can hear rattling, and then try to save them that way. So in any of the flowers that are coming in now, I'll probably harvest those and just save the ones that I'll let mature. And once these pods mature, the plant's going to say, hey, I successfully made an offspring, I'm good. And you're gonna see a lot of these leaves start to turn and fall off, and the plant will die out. And I think that's kind of what's happening with my other plants over there, since I let some of those seed pods mature a little bit longer. So I'll wait probably another 3 or 4 weeks, cut all these down, and I'll put new seeds in so I can have more for when fall comes. Here's the squash plant. So I just want to point out that I think these are some of the flowers that'll be coming in soon. And the only fear that I have for this plant is that there's not enough room for the actual squash to grow. But you know, like I said, I'll live and learn. I'm happy that it actually grew as big as it is. Some of these are probably at least, what, 1.5 feet stock for the leaves. So I'm actually really happy where it's going, and I'm sure we'll actually get a decent amount of squash from this. And here we are with the tomatoes. So as you can see, this one right here is actually doing really well. Don't know if we can zoom in right. Maybe I'll get a different angle. But I think these were one of the first ones that are coming in. So we have about 5 there, have a bunch up here, and flowers all around. And it's definitely escaping that support system. And then the other ones that we have, the one to the right's doing really well. See, that's being pollinated right now with the one flower. And the one in the middle, it's actually growing pretty well. As you can see, it's a little stunted compared to the other ones, but they'll keep growing, and I'm sure it's gonna have some great tomatoes coming in soon. So, like I said, if we wait another week or two, we'll probably have a good amount of tomatoes and start using them from burgers or even making some sauces. Hey there, broccoli. How you doing? Took a while, but looks like you're growing. I honestly didn't think anything would be coming in at all for any of them, but this one actually is. So, with any luck, we'll actually be able to cook this later this summer. Oh well, this is the other broccoli plant, and I just wanted to show some examples of my failure. So, clearly all the pests got to it. I tried using some soapy water, some like fossilized plankton, the white powder that you put everywhere, and I really couldn't stop some of the bugs making these leaves into skeletons. It's still growing, but I don't see any signs that broccoli is actually going to be coming through anytime soon. So just need to try to test some more products and see what can actually help keep pests away. I think the worst I've had so far this year was Japanese beetles. They were on almost all the plants I've had, from the green beans, broccoli, and even the peach trees I have. So luckily nothing really affected the basil, and overall the green beans did really well. Tomatoes look like they're going to be fine, but yeah, some of the plants that I had really took a toll this year from some of the pests. And just to continue on with some of the failures I've had, this peach tree definitely took a toll this year. I just planted it around, I think it was beginning of May, so not all that long. And it's still growing some new leaves here at the top, but Japanese beetles completely infested it, ate a lot of the leaves. I tried putting more soil on it and try to suppress some of the weeds and other things around it, but again, I put a Japanese beetle trap here. I used soapy water trying to kill them, but they took the toll on this tree, and it lost probably 60% of its leaves. But it's still alive. Hopefully next year I can do a little bit better. So just some things that I've noticed with the traps and everything else. The traps were really good at drawing in Japanese beetles. The moment I put that trap out, they were flocking to that scent thing at the top. Unfortunately, I think a lot of the Japanese beetles were attracted from other areas, and what didn't fall into that trap stayed and ate from the peach tree. So next year, I'm going to try a few different things. One, the trap that I have, I'm going to move that slightly farther away, just so it's not next to the tree. And I might also try a net that can keep pests away, some bugs and insects, and tie it around the base of the tree. So we'll see how next year goes. It looks like it's going to be able to live and make it into fall, but it definitely isn't as healthy as I would like. And with failures can come some successes. So even though this trap was near this tree, some of the Japanese beetles were drawn to the leaves, but I think I was able to successfully keep them away. The peach tree overall has some damaged leaves that have taken some issue, but it's grown drastically since when I first got it. The one branch, actually all the branches probably grew about a foot that's near the top. So it's been doing well. It's looking a lot healthier than the other one. The Japanese beetles didn't really attack this one as hard. So I don't know if the other one was just having some issues and just got bullied, but this one, for the most part, is able to successfully kind of keep the pests away. Have a nice day, and goodbye.